said, hush your mouth, keep your head down low. Drink your pain, pay your tax, do what you're told. But I was raised where the rainy streets teach you to stand on your own 2 feet. Yeah, from a small town pub to the city lights, I've seen deals in smoke-filled nights. Blue suits talking like they own this land, but they never had mud on their hands. They write the rules from a golden chair while we graft all day just to breathe their air. But there's a fire in this old isle, and I won't let them steal what's mine. I don't bend for the lies they sell. I won't dance to the Westminster Bell. I'll sing truth for this tired old nation. No filter, no hesitation. Raise your voice, feel that liberation. This is the unfiltered nation. Yeah, this is the unfiltered nation. Yeah. We got farms, docks, mills still standing strong. Real folk here who've been right all along. They call us crazy when we say no more, but we carry this country shore to shore. So here's to the ones who won't back down, stealing their spine and are beaten downtown. If your heart still beats for this old home soil, then you're my people in this loyal coil. No more masks, no more stage duration, no more bought and paid for stations. If you're done with scripted conversation, step into the unfiltered nation. Take a seat, switch on, feel the elevation. Real talk, real grit, no fabrication. You cross the line, there's no more waiting. Welcome to the unfiltered nation. Yeah.
You see, what's going to happen now is the left and all the mainstream medias, they are going to incorrectly call this hate speech. So they want to play that game with me. Okay, good. I'm going to play it because yes, I hate evil. I hate paedophiles. I hate cowards who trade girls for votes. I hate lies disguised as tolerance. I hate the wolves in the suits, and I hate the silence in power. And if you don't hate these two, then you're part of the problem. So this will be a righteous hate. It's what built empires, and it's what defends the innocent. And to those over there watching in Parliament in Westminster, let me remind you this. You knew, and you let it happen anyway. And now the people know too!
It didn't catch me that time. I was prepared for it. I was ready. Good evening, everyone. Dizzy for Jesus. Oh, my goodness. The place of truths and sanity. Hello, Danny. Hello. I hope you're well. And people are going to be like, Dan, again. Again, you're just coming up live with not telling anyone. Just going to roll up at what time it is, 10 past 11. But do you know what? It's so hot right about now. I've had the last 2 days of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not going to bed till late, and the same again today. But we got to be blessed with the good weather. Roy, how you doing, my brother? Rustic, 71, welcome everybody. I hope all's doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, my friend. So this is just going to be, it's just going to be one of them hot ones, to be fair. We're just going to trawl the internet. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to talk about Rupert Lowe and about Restore as well, because it comes back again, doesn't it? We're going to talk about Rupert Lowe and Restore because I think it's important what is going on at the moment. And there is this internal war, and it might possibly be the thing that many people have been waiting for, because once they get the message right and the message on point, I don't think that reform can compete because of the stuff that what's the guy's name? Nigel Farage. With all the stuff Nigel Farage's got and what is going on, I don't think he compete. I seen a Ben Habib interview with what's his name? Richard Inman. My mind's going with Richard Inman today, and he's like, "Oh, I might bring it back." Richard's asking him to bring it back. Oh, I might do, I might not. Blah. No, we don't want Advance UK. If we do, we want it under a different management. But I think Restore. I think they might, if they knock it on the head a little bit, I think they might be in the runnings. There's been a lot of. Let's just go on to this one. Let's just get on to. Let's get on to my X feeds and let's just see what's going on there, because I've had a lot of stuff on here, to be fair. I've had a lot of stuff over the last couple of days with Advance UK. Let's go back to the bits that I'm gonna go through. We'll go through it right from the start and then we'll see what is happening now. These people think they control. Historians, so look how much I got going, but I post so much on X, it's unbelievable. But the response is always good. Let's just go through for this one. This one here. What are we doing? What are we doing, people? This one here, you've all seen it by now. I've got 500,000 people have seen this on here, but let's just go through it from the beginning and we can have a little conversation.
For the party. I don't know of any party that audits its membership. And equally, I think a lot of the damage is done not by necessarily the right. Some is, and I detest far-right sort of, ethno-nationalist or neo-Nazism. I've never been driven by that. Equally, I'm not driven by what I call the malign left, which actually is capable of equal evil, if not more evil. And yet, because they're left-wing, they're not required to audit their membership. They're not criticised when for the party.
So that's what the whole thing has come across. And Bogan Brett from Australia, the container's been lost in the dock, so he's got a day off. So hopefully they're going to pay you. Hopefully you still get your payment there. But, it's a nice day for a day off. Even though it's night time here, I'm assuming in Australia it's always nice. So here, Rupert Lowe, unchallenged, he was talking about ethno-nationalism and neo-Nazism, and the internet has gone wild over it. The people who are ethno-nationalists, the people who do drive the debate that we want total remigration and nothing else, the people who are happy to come onto the comments, and this is a strange one as well, right? Because June Slater, she blocked me, and now she unblocked me to write some comments. It's crazy. All the people who are part of every camp, right? But what I think Rupert Lowe was saying on this one is he was literally just saying that the left don't have to audit their people. They've got Palestinian terrorists in there. They've got all sorts of nonsense, all sorts, and nobody says to the left to audit themselves. But everything's going on about Rupert Lowe, and he disavows all that type of stuff. And we can see from today, from yesterday, we can see that he does actually he distanced himself from it, and he says I shouldn't be having to do it. Not that he wouldn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. He shouldn't have to, and I understand that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But you do have to, knock a bit of the racist stuff on the head, because there is a little bit of racism going on there, and it's coming from a few people. And before I'd be like, you know what, I'm not even going to talk about it, but fuck it. I've had too much water has gone under all of these bridges, yeah? So we'll just call the spade. And there are people in there, and it does bring down the whole of the party, because that's what the Daily Mail, that's what the newspapers, they'll focus on it. So you shouldn't have to audit the membership. You shouldn't have to. But when people are so outspoken, and when people are getting a lot of internet traffic, and when the media are on that, then there comes a time when you're going to have to say, do you know what? I am going to have to play that game, because in the long run, it's going to harm me. I can say all day long that I detest it, I disavow it, I don't support it. But at the end of the day, if people are still there who are very vocal and they've got a lot of people behind them, it's never going to work. But if you just look at the comments on it, the comments have gone. Where are we going? This one, the comments of, I don't even know about this one. It might have been a few of the other ones. Why is it that everyone who is against or not on board with Restore always uses Steve Laws to attack him? Because that's the person that everyone is talking about. That's the person who, here you go, look, because Steve Laws looks at the news cycles and plays to it. Remember when he said things, anti-assume, I don't know. Do you know what, right? My iPhone, it's got a mind of its own. You just type one thing in and it'll just put something else on it. And I can't be bothered to keep having to look through it and read through it. I need to get myself another phone because it's just getting crazy. It's getting ridiculous, right? I did something the other day and I was like, okay, cool. Here, Anglo Klaxon, you're confusing far right and centre right. Wanting laws enforced and having strict border control isn't the same as lynching based on skin colour. I didn't say anything about that at all, but it's these types of comments that you get constantly that it's like, hang on a minute, you're trying, like I am a restore. Not only am I a left-wing agitator, I'm a reform person. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'll show you what else. Let me just change it over because it's not the right one for this. Let me just go on to this one because, this is what people are saying. We'll go on to Vindicator here, right? And yeah, again, I'm not going to be here saying, do you know what? Should I just let things slide? I'm not sliding anymore. We don't slide here. We do not slide here. Let's go this one.
So let's go here.
All right, let's go and have a look at the up a bit. Need to watch the whole interview. The whole interview, we can go through the whole interview. It was actually a good interview, and it's these little sound bites that travel around the world. And I don't think the interview was a bad interview, like PBD today. Look at what he's done on PBD today, and people are going crazy in regards to it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it actually changes the game. What he says, let me just get up to it. This one.
At Windsor and things. I mean, he's certainly very keen to. He has Muslim worship at Windsor and things. I mean, he's certainly very keen to propagate a multicultural society, which again I have no problem with if people integrate and they accept the prevailing laws and culture of the people they come and live amongst. And if you have.
And that's everything that people have been saying, but people are going mad on this. People are going mad saying this is the end of Restore Britain. If you don't support what the nativists support, then it's terrible. It's bad. We're gonna move away. We're gonna go and take Deep State Charlie with us, and we're gonna set up a new party and all of these types of stuff. But when he's talking to Patrick Bet-David, he can't go and use the same language that people are using in the UK. You can't be saying that, people who are born here, who are not indigenous to the country, they're going to go back, right? And that is a conversation. Maybe it's just a flippant one. Maybe it's never going to happen anyway, right? But it's the conversation, and the conversation is what the media picks up on. They pick up on who says what, to who, how, and all of that. And in America, there was a big thing when Brother Charlie Kirk was still with us, still pushing a great vision. He told the Democratic blacks, he told the people that were on the plantation, the political plantation, and he used to say to them, listen, what are you? Are you an African or are you an American, right? And then they look at themselves and say, I'm an American. There you go then. Stop saying you're an African American. And that little bit of the conversation, that slight little bit of a conversation changed the whole attitudes of millions of people. And that was the start of the conversation. There's a lot more to it. But that was the start of the conversation to get the blacks for Trump and to, make sure that Trump took the states that he took. He killed it, right? And that was all because of Brother Charlie Kirk and the Brexit campaign and the Turning Point campaigns on all of the university campuses and everything else that's going on. That a lot of the UK people are trying to do now. You got to register to vote. You got to do all of this stuff, but it's slightly different in the UK. But he can't go to PBD and say, well, actually, this is going to be, we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z for the indigenous. He can't go and do that. But if Deep State Charlie, if he was on there, he would say that he would go wild, and people would look at it and say, well, that's not a legitimate position. And I don't care what people say. It's not a legitimate position. There are people here who shouldn't be here, right? There are people that are born here who shouldn't be here because they don't integrate. They don't even like the country. They fly different flags. They say, where are you from? What's your identity? And they'll be saying every other country apart from the country they live in. These people, yeah, for sure, they've got to go 100%. Because they don't do anything productive to society. But the conversation is for them people, not a blanket one. As soon as you start blanketing people, that's when against the media. That's what we deal with now. Politics is, 40% media, 40% social media. It's only about 10% is on the street that people can actually hear what the conversation is. The rest of it, they're getting it from social media, and that's why it's so powerful. That's why Starmer, that's why he tried, or he has done it, is banning the under-16s from watching it, because they don't want them to have a mindset that is not indoctrinated to them with the Marxists. Agreed. He'll be up for a podcast with you, Danny. Who's up for a podcast with me? Not paid, but it's a beautiful day down there, contemplating a little bit of beer in the gardening. He's on granddad duties. That's what he does. Granddad's go and do beer and gardening. All right. Steve Laws is playing his game. He is Roy. He really is. Good on Cole Stefanovic for having Tommy on his show, and well done to Pauline Hanson for sharing it on her channel. Tom he's going everywhere as well, and obviously he's got to be careful who he's supporting as well. Not supporting, but with the restore bit, because as much as he can do good for them, they can bring him down. I don't trust any politician at all. You shouldn't do. You shouldn't trust anyone because they've not done anything to give their trust to us. Unfortunately, they're not in the situation where we can just say, yeah, that's the politician. They've got to earn their trust. And this is what people don't want to do. And that's what frustrates me with all these old parties and new parties. It just frustrates me, because I'm like, you know what? You know what the people are looking for. You know what the people are asking for. And you still go and do what you want to do. Like Restore at the moment. You got the top people. And they wouldn't be walking around my streets. They wouldn't be walking around your estates. They'll be looking down slightly because they feel like, you're not one of them. And you have people like Carl Benjamin, he will say to him and say, well, I grew up in Swindon and I did this. But it's not the same. It's not the same growing up a certain way and not growing up in that area, in the worst bits of the area, of understanding what depravity is, understanding what true types of poverty, because I'm sure every one of us who is working class had our own style of poverty. And it might not be that we couldn't afford any food and, we didn't have shoes or anything like that, but it could easily be, your mum on a Tuesday knows that she ain't going to be eating nothing because there ain't enough shit to go around, but she's not portraying it onto you, but she knows it herself. Or, you've got to go and get, what was that little thing? A Provident loan. The Provident loan man used to come around every Friday, used to march up and down the roads, and you'd pay him your £20 or wherever it is. And that's how we did it. But that, to me, is a poverty-driven society, because we're not rich. We haven't got spare cash. But what we do have is we're not portraying it onto the kids. So we don't really know. We're all in the same type of boat. Rustic 71, let's make one thing clear. Something needs to be done about the state of this country. It does. It really does. And this is what I said on X the other day. I said, we'll talk, right, this is Restore. Restore has so many policies. It's good. Okay, cool. You're a legitimate party. You've got all of these policies and you're a legitimate party. All right, fine. But we know that these are not going to happen in our lifetime. So if someone just comes out and says, listen, lads, this is what the party's about. We're going to mass deport the illegals in the hotels. We're going to close that down and we're going to secure the borders. We are going to make sure that Islam is not going to come, running through as wild as it is through our institutions, through, all sorts of things, taking away the fundamental Christian faith of the country. And we're going to protect women and children. That's all we can do. That's it, right? The rest of it, we're going to have to actually see what the situation is. And it might just be much of the same. The economy might be driven much of the same. This might be driven much of the same because we need to start somewhere to make sure that we can build upon it. And if we can start, it's like when you've got rising damp. You paint over it or you do 101 different things. It's not going to happen unless you fix the source of it. So a party for me that said that, 3 things, that's all we can do. I would be like, you know what? They're real. They're talking the truth. They're not trying to bullshit you with all of these things. We've got all of these things. And a lot of the Restore things that's been going out is very, very, very socialist. You could be like, what? No, it can't be. They're nationalists. I'm telling you, that Charlie Downs, there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him because he has this very, very socialist view on a lot of things. And he tries to either hide it from the people, tries to reinvent it, or just try to say, yeah, this is right wing. What we're going to do is we're going to have a new, we're going to, his favorite thing is to say, we're going to smash and burn down and break society. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to rebuild it in our vision. And that's a very, very, very socialist idea, a Marxist, socialist, whatever. It's that idea where you destroy capitalism. And the other day he said it. We are going to remove capitalism. It doesn't fix us. And then we're going to have our own style of capitalism. And he was saying all about the NHS and about all of this stuff. And I was just like, this is wild. It is absolutely wild. You do know what you are saying and you're trying to make it out to be a nationalist thing. But in this day and age, people just follow. People just, they've had enough. Like Rustic said, we just need it to be fixed. And a lot of people are there going, I don't know anymore. I don't know. You say you're going to do it? All right, cool. You're there for the British people? Yeah. Oh, you're there for the English people? All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to do it. I'm just going to blindly follow you. And that's where we get into situations. And that's where we get into a lot of trouble. Sophia, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Career politician cycles. That's all they are. They're career politicians. When I saw all those lab rats flock around Andy Burnham, he's another one. People are... And this is why, for the last few days as well, I've lost my head. Because all we had to do, all the right wing has to do, yeah, is ride it out. We've done this for so many years. We have ridden out Black Lives Matter. We have ridden out all of these insulating Britain people just a boil, trying to change the political discourse. We've had, we've had the judges and politicians and local elected leaders and the judiciary against us. We've done it all. We've ridden it out every time. That's all we needed to do. But no. Andy Burnham got an easy seat. The guy was like, you're going to win this anyway. I'm going to step down. We'll do business afterwards. So that was kind of near enough a foregone. Makerfield was a full-blown conclusion, right? Restore Britain didn't need to be there. They don't need to be in the Manchester mayorship either. They don't need to do any of that. But they did it. They didn't take any votes away. So it was lucky because it saved them. And Burnham got through. All right, cool. So then what do the little left people do in these nationalist movements? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people in there, like the people who are taking the knee for Henry Novak, right? I understand the situation. I understand exactly why they're doing it. I understand they want to have that optical. They want to have that on the front page of the newspapers so everyone understands the travesty that's happened, right? But it doesn't have that effect because Black Lives Matter were doing it. Now, if there was a different thing, like a lot of people were like, you know what, we'll just stand in silence, we'll turn our backs on the, we'll go outside the police station, we'll turn around, we'll have our backs to it, and then that's what we'll do. Because we will be visually representing that we are not with you. There is a huge, huge divide. But they started to do this. So I think there's a lot of left wing people infiltrating. So when Andy Burnham won, there was all these people saying Starmer's got to go. Starmer's got to go. A lot of pressure on it. So now they know, yeah, we can make the move. No one's really gonna be worried about when we select Andy Burnham, and there's going to be no vote for the people because the people have been saying we need Starmer gone. Starmer's gone now. Like with like, I think it's going to be worse. I think it's Tony Blair 2.0 with a little bit more. He's got a little bit more pizzazz about him. He's a northerner, isn't he? Northerners have that knack of being able to speak to anyone. He's got that knack as well. And then he'll call a general election because people now are saying we need a general election. Oh no, we can't do that. But that's the worst thing for the country right now. All we've got to do is ride out to 2029, get our shit together, ride out to 2029. Restore just needs to say, do you know what? Let's just talk more about what Rupert's saying. Let's get rid of the illegals. Let's not attack the people who were born here and are patriotic here. Let's not attack the people who, they've come over on a visa, on a marriage visa. Let's not attack these people. Let's just make sure we can go and have a clear view of what we're doing and how we're going to win 2029. But no, there will be election. People are saying September. I doubt it's going to be September. It's not a very good time for an election. You've got the conference in October. So that's where you put your vision. So you'll come with the conference and you say, this is my vision for the future. You then let it marinate a little bit, let little activists go about and spread the good news and do all of that type of stuff. And I reckon probably May to June next year will be when he hits the snap election. And it will be a snap one because they won't say nothing to no one about it. And then they'll say, you know what, I'm going to call an election. I've spoken to the king. The king has agreed that, Parliament's going to be closed and an election's going to be it. And everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? But that will give him another 4 years, 5 years, whatever. We don't need to do this. We just needed to ride out Starmer and all the tyranny stuff. Cool, we know what they're doing. We know if we protest, he's going to come and arrest us. So let's just do it in other ways. Because Burnham's going to be the same. He's going to be the same. And there's not going to be much you can say against it. As in, he's a Trotskyist. He's this, he's that. He's he's plain, he's bland. But he can mingle in with the people. He's an invisible person. You remember it was Captain Cave, what was it? Keir Starmer, Captain, what was his name? With the U-turns, Captain Boring or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, everyone, please subscribe and share it all sorts of stuff. Push this out because it's not getting out of there. But I think we're going to change channels. I think we're going to go onto our website. I've been speaking to a good friend about a few things. So maybe we can get away from. And it's crazy. Look at this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. The Tale of Two. Oh, I'll put it on here, and I get like 1 million views so far in the last 7 days. I've got 1 million views, right, on X. Here on YouTube, I'll probably get 1,000 maybe. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, just share it out. Do all you can do. Andy Burnham is a member of the Fabian Society, as is 2 Tier and a bit queer here. Yeah, and he's a World Economic Forum fantasist as well. Never trust a bloke that wears eyeliner. Who wears eyeliner? Burnham, does he? Germany banned it, and Australia is probably going to ban it from the cinemas. What are we banning? Watch Citizen Vigilante before it gets banned. Reminds me of old Death Wish movies. Oh, I saw a thing about that. I saw I did see a thing about that. I was supposed to download it. Where was it? Oh, I can't remember. I'll find it though. Democracy is dead. Burnham has no right to be a PM. He doesn't, but we've got this now. We've got this situation that people are being elected and selected. So they get elected by the people, and then they're there for about a year, maybe 2 years, and then another one will get selected, another one. And I said that during the Tory debacle. I said, if you allow this to happen, it's going to keep happening. And it's going to happen when Labour's in power. And it's going to happen with someone else. And you're going to end up with a lot of people that you never voted for. So how can I say it's democracy? Well, you voted for the party. Yeah, well, that's where they get us, because, you know, we actually vote for our individual representatives, and that then comes into a collection with the party. So technically, they're right. This communist Fabian shit is going down. I'm not so sure. It's been around for hundreds of years, so I don't think it's going to go around so far. What we've got to do is be a little bit more clever and not allow these people to get into power, and when they do get into power, understand how to challenge it. We won against Black Lives Matter. Don't let anyone say that we didn't. Don't let anyone say that they disbanded or they lost interest. When we started coming out with Black Lives Matter as a Marxist organisation, and then we come out with the proof, and then we come up with more proof, and all we was doing was we was researching about Marxist organisations and who's in this. So every time a debate comes on, people were talking and saying blah blah, and it was in defence. You couldn't go around it. It was there. It's the truth. You can't fight the truth with anything else but accept it. That's it. Because everyone knows you're a liar, and once they know you're a liar, you've got no legitimacy. Once you've got no legitimacy, you've got no power, and when the power goes, so does the message. Simple as that. And that's what we did. We understood the enemy. So with the Fabians, we've got to understand the enemy. We've got to understand exactly what they are. Who's worse, the Fabians or the Freemasons? Do you know what I mean? We've got to understand it. I might not be UTK. I might not be one of the only people who thinks Starmer resignation is a bad idea. It was such a bad idea. That's why he did it so quickly, right? That's why he did it so quickly, because he knows. Hang on a minute, it's a bad idea that we will say, but it's a good idea for Labour. Sophia saying that would make sense being an election next year, as it would line up with new energies being in May for the exactly. And who's going to be the chancellor? It's so hot in here. Who's going to be the chancellor? It will be Net Zero Ed Miliband. There you go. Better the devil you know. I always say that, Rustic. I always say that. It is better the devil you know. And do you know what? My old man said that about Saddam Hussein. He turned around and said they're taking him out. And I'm just, I ain't got a fucking clue about the Gulf War in this. What's going on? I don't know. So they're taking him out. It was better the devil you know. Right? And I didn't understand it for so many years until like probably 2010, 2012. And I was like, I understand it now. It's better to have those people in there that you know what's going to happen, and you just do your thing. Do your thing. I'm never going to say don't protest. I am going to say don't protest if you're going to get 2 to 3 years for throwing a Coke can. I'm definitely going to say don't go and protest. Just in case that the police, I know the police are in there. I know the police do incite these types of stuff, and I know how easy it is from Armistice Day, how easy it is to get caught up in the situation. You're there, everyone's getting a bit more hyper, a bit more boisterous, and then the police come in with their battering rams, and then you're like, this is my tribe, these are my people, we're not gonna allow that to happen. That's the game plan. So once you know that, I'll say to people, don't go out and do them protests. The police will try and put you in a position where you're doing 2 or 3 years. People say, Danny, that's a pussy way out. All right, cool, that's fine. But we've got a tyrant in office. When the tyrant's not in office and it's free to protest without feeling that you're going to get arrested for doing absolutely nothing, then yeah, cool, we'll do it. Or we'll all do it. We'll all go out there and we'll try and take down every establishment that we can. I'm a fan of that as well. But we need everyone. We need people to be like, we're not coming home. We need that attitude. We're not coming home. We sorted out all the family. We sorted out the finances. We're good to go. We're good for 5 years. Kim Thomas, did Andy know what he was doing when he took on the title of the King of the North? He will be defeated. Jesus foretold that the Queen of the South would rise up with the people. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Because it is a self-proclaimed King of the North that everyone uses. Yeah, that's a fair point. Who knows then? It might be, this might have had to happen. This might be the prophecy that has to happen, like COVID had to happen for a lot of people to understand about good and evil. Take me back to the 80s. The threat of nuclear war was easy, way less depressing. Cuba, Russia. They're still doing Russia now, aren't they? The only thing I trust is the only thing is never trust a devil once you know one. Yeah, you don't have to trust him, do you? Rustic saying, not saying you have to. Oh, there you go. Not saying you have to trust the devil. I understand the comment. Yeah, exactly. It's better to know the devil, but you're never going to trust him. It works hand in hand. Brett, they were all way happier when the threat of nukes was over us. People accepted there was nothing we could do, so we didn't really. And that is actually quite true, isn't it, with the British people? When you understand that it is what it is, you tend to kind of think, fuck it. It's like when the 7/7 happened. Everyone was like, oh, London's never going to be the same again. People ain't going to go on the tubes. And people were just like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. We ain't going to shut down London. We're not. We're just going to accept it. This is like what they say, all part and parcel of the thingy. And then we'll have to make sure that we get rid of the elements that are making it unsafe. But we're not going to stop it ourselves. We're not going to change our own plans. We're not. We're just going to carry on. And then we have to make sure that the people who shouldn't be here and are doing this type of stuff, radicalised people, radicalised British people, radicalised half-caste gingers, ex-Christians probably, who have been groomed by Islam into doing these horrific acts. That's normally how it happens. So it is there. I can get that. But when you think, oh, do you know what? We can. The threat's not big. The threat's not bigger than me, per se. Do you know what I mean? We might be able to do something about it if we all band together, and that puts you on that tenterhooks all the time. But when you're like, oh, Russia can do this, Cuba can do this, there's an army coming over from wherever. All right, there's not much we can do with that. We gotta suck it and see. See what else in the chat. Next May, council and county elections. That is when Labour will be defeated again. Come on, people, there is a divine plan. And next May it might be with the generals as well. I can't remember which one it was. And it was done at the same time as the locals, and you had two forms. And it was like, oh, that's for that, that's for that. And it was a ridiculous thing because it was important. Both things were important, but you could only concentrate on one thing. So that's a good way, once they know that they're going to be defeated in the locals, maybe put them both together so people are like, you know what, I might vote reform for the locals, but I'm going to vote restore for the general election. I don't know if people can do. I don't know. People might just say like, I'm just going to do Reform, or let's just do Labour. Let's just do Andy Burnham because he's a nice man. The yeah. I don't think the Islamic police, the Metropolitan Police, with the Islamic Star. Oh, what did I call them? Because it's the MPS, isn't it? The Muslim Protection Squad. Kim says that the Black Barrister Shay have instructions to keep people safe. We've got to be safe. We've always got to be safe. Let's just get on to some other stuff. Let's get on to some YouTube. I think Vin, yeah, do you know what? I can't be asked with him, to be fair. I will do another one on him, but it's just, what have I done? I've lost my tab. I've lost my YouTube tab. Let's see. Oh, it is. Here it is. Let's just go. We'll come back to this in a minute. Let's just see if there's anything else. Anything else on here that we can do. That's me up there. That's me in the corner. Oh, come on. You see how easy it is to get me confused? Right. What else? This one. Look what happened here. You are not going to believe this. You are not going to believe, and this is not going to be like this is not going to be like the drama streams, like, this is fear, this is what, but look at what's happened here. This is absolutely wild, right? So it's from Active Patriot, and it's going to be Truth Hurts 101 as well.
All right, are you all three of you going to leave? Yes.
First of all, look how fat this police officer is. Do you know what? I'm not here to fat shame people and whatnot, but this is a police officer. Where is the beep test? Where is the you have to be athletic? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This is a police officer. Standards have gone right down. Standards are so low. We cannot be having people like this in the police officers. And I saw, where was it? Was it Birmingham or somewhere like that? And they were having a fight with this black guy, trying to apprehend him or whatever. And it was one guy. It might have been, I can't remember who it was. I'll try and find it on here. And the guy knew how to fight a little bit. He was having a little scrap on him, a little bit of ground game. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best. But imagine this one having a bit of ground game. Imagine this one he jumped over the wall. What's she going to do? That's it. The people are gone. A Muslim has stabbed someone right there. She comes out of the car. Oh no, everyone starts running. She tries to run, hits that fence just behind her, easy to get over. What's she going to do? That's it. They've gone. They've gone. How did they go? They jumped over the fence, but I couldn't get over there. We can't say anything because you're a woman. That's DEI and all that stuff. And we can't say that, you've got to really, eat a bit more healthily and get in the gym. I can't say that, no, because, that's going to be breaking some type of employment act or whatever. We've got to accept this. We've got to accept that people, especially the Americans, they're watching us now and they're going to see this. They're going to see. It's crazy.
You're going to leave, yes or no?
That's not the most craziest thing.
You're all going to leave the premises. You're all trespassing right now.
That other business has got public access. If he's
We
not
don't need
connected-
press
It's
passes.
not trespassing, I'm going to tell you.
that's civil matter.
This
That's
is the last time
civil.
I'm going to warn you to leave. If you do not leave, you're going to get arrested on suspicion of a breach of the peace.
Okay, I'm going.
So they're threatening him. So basically they're at this hotel. They've got a bit of intelligence that they're saying that this hotel, not only is it doing delivery, not only is it got illegals in there and really they shouldn't be there. I want to see what the class of the hotel is. Has it been changed? Has it not? We don't know. But it's also got a call centre. I shit you not. A call centre in the back. So they say it's an Indian call centre. So the Indian people who are in there, they've got a better job. Then you got all the Syrians and all of these, the Middle Eastern people, they've got deliveries. Yet they're not allowed to work, right? They're not allowed to work, but they've got all the listings going on. So the police are here and straight away on a civil matter because the police can't protect private business. He's getting them done for a breach of the peace.
All right, go on, leave. Are you going to leave, sir?
He's giving it a mouth a little bit too much, to be fair. Trying to arrest her. Trying to arrest him. Look at that, straight away. See, she ain't chasing him, don't worry. The fat copper ain't chasing him.
I'm not running. Here's the call centre.
Here we go. Is the proof?
There's your call centre being run at the rear of the hotel.
There's a
There you
call
go.
centre. A call centre,
Not
people.
lying.
A call centre.
Victoria Hotel in Oldham there, look. Look at the back. Call centre.
So that's a call centre. Sophia saying you can't really hear this. So let's just crank this up one bit. Wait there. Let me get off this screen because I've got to go into this. So yeah, so imagine that. So there's a call centre in the back of an asylum hotel. And people are expected not to be reporting on it. And then the police are like, well, actually, you don't have a where is it? Elgato Wave. You can't see it. So you don't have a press pass, so you can't. Oh, there it is. You don't have a press pass, so you can't listen to it. Stream mix. What's that one? 65. We'll bump that up to 70, 77. We'll bump up to 80. There we go. So it goes really loud as well, to be fair. So yeah, so how can they arrest him? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. They arrested him because he's exposing the fact that there is this immigration hotel here. Let me know, Sophia, if it's loud now.
And all the Indians are having the dinner in the kitchen. Look. There we are inside the hotel where everyone's trying to hide their faces. Hello lads, where we all come from? You gaming there on your laptop?
What do you need?
You gaming? What game you playing?
What do you need?
Very nice hotel.
Here we go. All right. So, Active Patriot, this is the people. This is the people who are coming here because they are fleeing wars. These are the people who need a lot of help because, you know, their country can't do it. And he's here on a £1,000 gaming PC. The other people in the back have got PCs. They've got all the iPhones. They've got all the nice clothes. They've got 3 meals a day. And if they do need a bit of work, they've got a call centre in the back. And not only that, if a call centre's not for them, they can do delivery work. They can do Just Eat work. And if that isn't enough, you can hopefully be in an area where there's your own cultured people who own many of the restaurants, many of the barber shops or anything else like that. You might be able to get yourself some cash in hand and work like that. All because you've come here illegally. But if you didn't come here illegally, you'd have to have visa upon checks upon checks. You'd have to have your $5,000 a year for the NHS. You need all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely crazy. All good now, thanks. Great, wicked. It's going to blow your ears out now, the next one.
You been here long?
Thank you, thank you.
It's even got the Deliveroo back bit on to put the bag on. Look,
And it's an electric bike.
it's got the Deliveroo attachment. It's got the scanner on the thing.
I just reported that and said just in the video, and it's took off the bag.
Of
Look at
course,
the
it took
wheels.
the bag off. Yeah.
That's a
Where's the Deliveroo bag?
£1,500.
Do you know?
What's it called? A G-Force. Oh, look at that. Security. Security is secure. Security, they're going to let it happen because it's Indian security for an Indian call centre for a thingy. What is that bike called? Let's try and see if we can find. It's a G-Force. What's that say? A DES G-Force. DES G-Force. A DES G-Force. I'm interested now. Was it a DES or a DE5? DE. I'm going to go S. G-Force bike. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So we've got these bikes here. It looked a bit like this one, to be fair. I'm not sure. We can. Oh no, it didn't. Or the fat tires were on it. Let's have a look. So it's blue trim. Blue trim. So it is more like a G-force. Oh, here we go. There we go. How the fuck in the back of a hotel? And you know it's the same one. An immigration hotel where people are supposed to be here because they have no money. They've fled a country because of persecution and war, and we are the only safe country that they can go to. They've been put up into a hotel, and yet this bike here, as we can see, it is the GE Force or the G-Force DES 2025 all-terrain fat tire 48 volts wide cargo electric bike going for £1,499. Now these people have no right to be here. These people have no legal right to be here. These people shouldn't be here. And they certainly shouldn't be able to be getting £1,499. Now, we don't know whether or not this is done by an NGO. We don't know if me and you and everybody else is paying tax, is paying money for that. But what I do know and what I can say as a fact today that is the 24th of June, I can say that this bike is way out of my price range if I wanted to get a leisure bike. So what's he doing at a hotel? What are these people doing with these with these bikes? And I see quite a few of these as well, to be fair. Now I notice it. I see quite a few of these Deliveroo people. It's not Deliveroo, sorry, it's Just Eat people who are driving it, the orange bag people. Let's have a look at this. Let's have 180 to 210 miles per charge, dual suspension system, an extended cargo rack, that's important, hydraulic brakes, multi-functional rear rack. It's got a 1-year warranty, top speed of 25 miles per hour, 20-inch by 4-inch wheels, fat tires, 400 pounds, and an extremely large battery. And it's sold out. It's very popular, this bike. Let's see what the review's saying. Let's see what the reviews say. As a delivery rider, I need something reliable and efficient. The e-bike is exactly that. William. Billy. The low center of gravity makes a huge difference. Balancing loads makes it easier. Oh, shit. This e-bike has made my delivery job. So it's for delivery. It's a delivery bike. That's what it is. It's a delivery bike. It's absolutely disgusting. It's crazy. Let's listen to the rest of this.
Do you know?
Sir, I requested you, I told you.
I'm going to get the Home Office to raid this hotel.
I cannot comment to you, sir.
You can't comment. How many people?
Because
How many people
you-
are working for Uber Eats?
You know that, sir. Actually.
How many people are
Everything
doing
you know that the
Deliveroo?
rules.
So we've got Deliveroo.
Please,
We've got
I'm
a
requesting
dodgy
you,
Indian
so
call
please-
centre.
Please leave the site.
That's it, it's just left on top of the car. by
Is me
accident.
mate coming?
Is what?
Is me mate coming?
Yeah, he's going to be driven back to his car though.
Why?
Because the issue is obviously we've been called back for whatever reason, right? So to prevent anything further happening, any further like allegations by you or them, we're just going to separate
Recording.
them and we'll take him back to his car.
Yeah, well, you can walk back with
Oh.
us.
Well, I don't know what the plan is. I've not spoken to him. But
He's not. Has he been giving us dispersal notice?
yeah, just get me. It's the easiest way to deal with it.
They're just
I don't
protecting
want to
the
leave my mate.
illegals.
I don't know what's happening to him.
We'll sort him out. We're not going to keep him, are we?
I don't know. I don't know though.
You just kidnapped him. And there they are. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Well, I'm getting an update right now. That's no good. Absolutely disgusting, that is. I can't even believe that. I can't believe it, to be fair. I can't believe it. What's this about the podcast at the latest? Oh, it's getting hot now. It's getting hot now. This bloody PC as well. It kicks out a lot of heat. Shouldn't have got one like this. Right, Sophia says allegedly 3 illegals heard up the M62 yesterday saying they don't like the hotel they're staying in and want a house. Then they want a house by 5 p.m. yesterday and I haven't heard what the outcome was. So the outcome probably was they got a house by 4 o'clock. Rustic, the contracts around every hotel comes to billions. That was AI, Sophia. The actual traffic jam was a 3-car collision. I don't think she was on about that. I think she was on about they were going up there and they were saying that they were probably to the council that they wanted a new house. They didn't want the hotel. We know delivery drivers, Groovy Baby, are just a front for bigger illegal operation. Of course they are. Of course. This is why I want every politician audited every quarter, guaranteed. We'll see the Gumbit workers are invested in these contractors. Rishi Sunak invested in Uber Eats a few weeks before lockdown. Yeah, he did as well. The corruption runs deep for sure. Uber Eats began in March 2029. Yeah, but lockdown created it. Lockdown made it happen. Not made it happen, but lockdown made it. I'm trying to find something, man. I need a fan. I need to put something on here so I can get a fan or something because it's really, you can see me, look. I'm shining like a star. What else is going on then? That's absolutely crazy. How many people come in? Oh, there's me. I'm on telly. Small boats, innit? Small boats. Numbers. I don't even know what to write. Small boats arrivals. That's what it was. Last 7 days. 16th of June, 0. 17th of June, 0. 18th, 392 on 6 boats. 90. So we have had in the past 7 days, all right, when all the confusion have been going on with all the elections and everything else has gone on, 392 plus 406 plus 94 on one boat, 94 plus 310 plus 186. So we've got 1,388 in the last 7 days have come in here. 1,388. Big up Banksy. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. I'm sure Two-Tier will leave office a lot richer than he went in. They all do. Every single one of these bastards get in there and they get richer and richer and richer. And that's why we need to make sure that they don't, to be fair. Here's Andrew Tate. I'm not going to put him on there. Tate, another foreigner, trying to say that, well, I'm here for the UK. The UK's... I'm sick and tired, to be honest, with foreigners from outside the country are saying shit about the UK. Honestly.
Payment to prison.
I like this. This is what it should always be. Right? It's what it should always be. And this is what I feel that Restore has taken away. Has tarnished it somewhat.
This is England. It's time to fuck division and unite as one. It doesn't matter about the colour of your skin or where you're from. As long as you've got peace and love, we can all make this country a better place. Payment to prisons. Keep following us.
I reckon that's important. There's nothing else after that. I don't think it's important. It doesn't really matter. As long as we've got the same ideology, right, and we've got the same Britain, we want Britain to be, to win. We want Britain to be rid of everything that we've got. Then I don't see where the problem can be. I don't see how the problem can be. That phase me. Did I show you these ones? My ex has been going off, right? My ex has been going off. Cole's been at me. Everyone's been at me. Everyone's been at me. Like this one. Nate, the Lotus Eaters guys, right? we need to see what the actual original bit was. We need to get the context. So this is the context of the whole thing, right?
I think really that your point about Makerfield not being a bellwether is the most important one that people need to take away. Because I think that on the right, we have trouble putting ourselves in the frame of someone who is on the left, or at least I'm not even sure if left and right is correct way to form it.
Well, I was going to say that. I mean, the fact.
Right. So what Cole Benjamin's there is saying, listen, we can't put ourselves in the positions of the left, yeah, and the left can put themselves in the position of a right-wing person, and that's how I try to look at things. I try to, like, when I have a debate or an argument or whatever, I try to look at their point of view and say, if I was them, what would I say to me in this debate or this argument or whatever it is? And then 9 times out of 10, you're kind of on the right road. So it's easy to have a debate with these people. So that's what he was saying. And then Deep State Charlie comes in, and then you just got to look at Connor. Deep State Charlie comes in and says, I know exactly what you're saying about because I am a socialist. Here we go. Are you ready?
Fact that Farage frames it in terms of taking on the left. I mean, most people don't care about these terms.
Exactly.
And plenty, by the way, plenty of our voters, I think at some point or another would have described themselves as being left-wing because they have this old school idea of what that means.
Yeah, because I mean, the old school Labour voters aren't what I would consider to be left-wing, right, in the modern full spectrum sense. Because I mean, they're
right. This is where the bit comes, yeah? So now they're saying that a lot of the people who support Restore Britain at one point in time have been left-wing voters. And we know that's probably correct because we know there's a lot of people online, on the YouTubes. We was going to review one of his things earlier on. So people like Vin, who Vindicator Strikes Back, who starts out as a left-wing. Even Benjamin was a classical libertarian, right? They start out on the left wing, and then when you go through life anyway, you kind of become more right wing. But he's gone from one extreme to another, to be fair. So he's done all of this, right? And a lot of people, yeah, there probably are ex-left wing people, but it's still left wing, right? So this is what I said. You can remove the past. If you can remove the past, you can rewrite the future. So if you can tell people that actually the left wing of the day wasn't actually left wing, the 1980s Labour, that's not left wing, right? They were economically left wing and probably socially conservative. So it probably it's a mismatch anyway. But this is what he's trying to say. By today's standards, they are not left wing. But when it was Black Lives Matter and when it's about reparations, they say you cannot judge things of the past by the frameworks of today. You can't say this is happening today, so we've got to go, the things you've done in the past were wrong. It's the same type of concept, I believe. I might be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong with that one. But that's what I believe, right? So that's why I said that. If you can lie about it, if you can remove the past, who knows what you can say about the future?
There's the amazing sort of 4chan green text that goes around and says, look, you can repudiate any economic position you want. You can.
Right. So that's basically that, right? So then what did he say? Who said what? Who said what in this drama? And then Landor said, the clue's in the name, restore. Okay, keep coping. If you think restore something, it's to strip it away and replace it with what you want. That's not restore, that's reconstruction. If you think the Labour of the past wasn't left-wing too, that's my whole position on it. So he says here, this Nate guy, the Labour of the past wasn't left-wing in the modern sense. You think the coal miners and the steel workers gave one toss about the feminism and flooding the country? Well, you think that the coal miners and steel workers gave one toss about feminism and flooding the country with immigrants? That's, to me, is a bit of a crazy statement. They wouldn't have given a toss about feminism too much, but then you had the women for the coal miners on the strike that come out and give them food and all sorts of stuff. So it would be very traditional. A woman has their place, right? So he wouldn't care. They wouldn't care about feminism. But they weren't flooding the country either. But he's claiming that the steel workers wouldn't care about flooding the country with immigrants. What is this nonsense? Do you have any idea of what your history? And yes, to restore something, you indeed have to strip away the things that have spawned like a cancer. Another banger from you, Danny. Right. So this is what we get. These people. Now, what I was saying as well is absolute shit. Right. I've got let's see what his things are. So I'm sure he's got like, no, he's only on 20K, on double what he is. All right, cool. I'll give him that one. But Cole Benjamin and all these people coming against me, they've got huge platforms, and little old me, they feel they have to do it. But that's good because they know I'm on point. So 1900 to 1945, Labour Party was explicitly socialist. 1945 to 1951, mass nationalisation, welfare state was at its peak left wing. 1950s to the 70s, still centre left, union dominated. Early 1980s, it was hard left underfoot. That was a bad period. 1994 to 2010, Blair's corporate centrist New Labour. 2015 to 2020, Labour's hard left, and then 20 to now, drifting centre again. Burnham already signalling hard left. Pick your era, mate. They're all left wing by your own definition. And when you said restore something by stripping it away, by stripping away the cancer, what direction were you pointing? Because every restoration point on that list is further left. This is what I mean about the Restorians. They're kind of opening up their hands now. They're saying, they're coming out with bonkers stuff. Listen to this with old Deep State Charlie. It's that face when you think, fuck. Oh my God. And people like this as well. Alistair Harrison Communications, right? So this is a guy who writes Rupert Lowe's exes. Again, it's somebody else that has a Ukrainian or an Eastern European wife. But what these people are saying, Rupert Lowe's son is married to is it a Turk? Moroccan? Libyan? Something like that. One of these things. Has a foreign bride. So these people are saying, well, you know what? Britain, we have to do this, and we have to do that, and we're going to be blah, blah. It's all right for these people at the top to have these foreign, exotic people, but everyone else, they're saying, no, you've got you've got to stay within your boundaries. It's absolutely crazy. And this is going to be the fall of Restore. Absolutely going to be the fall of Restore. But what I'm getting to was, have I done this one?
These terms. And that's why when he said, look, I kept getting this on the doorstep. This is
Here we go. Another one. So this is twice.
This is persuade. I think Northerners are thinking these terms. And that's why when he said, look, I kept getting this on the doorstep. This is your last chance. Like if you don't do this and you sell us out, that's it. We'll never vote for Labour again. Well, and I think he genuinely believes it.
That's what people will say. Listen, we'll give Andy Burnham a chance, but if you fuck this up, we are never going to be voting for you again. I can hear that on the doors. I can hear people saying, well, actually, I'll give you a try. I'll give Restore Britain a try. But again, how does a Labour voter go to Restore Britain? How does that happen? Unless they have the same ideology. It's the same with Reform UK as well. People are saying, well, you're against Restore, so you must be Reform. I'm against Reform as well. I'm vehemently against Reform. I've got, they're my leaders of the council, and they are messing the council up, right? Let me just tell you that. They are fucking everything up. So I know what they're going to do with the council, with the country. So I'm not even with that. So people are like, because you say this about Restore, trying to have an open conversation, you're doing things that are a little bit left. They're saying X, Y, and Z, I can't even remember.
He genuinely believes it.
Well, it was fascinating because on many of the doors, sure, there were people saying, I'm split between you and Reform and I'm worried about splitting the vote and all the rest of it. But there were also plenty of people who said, I'm split between you and Labour because, they sense that there was something possibly uniting the two.
What unites two? What unites, unless it's socialism, it could be a nationalistic style. And I'm not going to say National Socialism so everyone can clip it, right? I'm not going to say it in National Socialism as in Nazis, right? I'm going to say a nationalistic socialism, which I do think that Charlie has. Charlie wants to make a new era. He said it. I can't find it now. I probably can find it actually. He wants to make. He's not left. He's not right. He's they're going to create a new left and a new right. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And I think that's what they are. Let me go to the chat a minute. The horseshoe theory. Let me just go a bit up a little bit more. Richie Sunak, Banksy, big up, big up. Rustic 71. Lucky I wasn't there. Whoa, 2024, Starmer's net worth was £1 million. These socialists always have a lot of money, don't they? They always have. I cannot think like a lefty. You can think like a lefty. It's very, very easy to think what would a lefty do because you just go wild. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm sure. I feel that you're very well versed, right? I feel you are very, very well versed, and I think you can think of their perspective, as in open borders. So you're having a conversation with somebody with open borders. What are they going to say? What would they say to try to persuade you that open borders is the best policy? They'll be like, oh yeah, listen, it's women and children that are coming over. It's not just all the men. All that type of stuff. That's the way I'm looking. I'm not on about, economical, and seeing about all the finer details. Just like how you would have a debate with someone. What would their pushback be? But I do listen to a lot of James O'Brien. I do, and I force myself to do it. I force myself because their calls, everyone that calls in, it's I. It's going to sound mad now, but I have the conversations with them, so I'm having my own debates every single morning. Every single morning, 10 till whenever. I've got my red light. 10 till whenever. I have a debate. It's a good way of doing things. Old centre left, old school Labour. Yeah, they were, but it was still. I wouldn't say that in any way that they would be right wing, because it used to be as well. The old school Labour used to be the Tory party with a nasty party, and the Labour were for the people. Labour was for the people. People subscribed to it. So I get what they're saying, that the left then is not the same as what the left is now. I get that, right? But you can't equate or you can't do any comparisons because everything was different. Everything has changed. You had Tony Blair taking them in a wild direction. You had Corbyn taking them in a wild direction. And it's not the same. But it's still, the principle of it is still centre left or a nationalist left, or whatever one, it's still left wing. Crossover, Rustic, what happened with Scotland's game? I've missed it. Oh, I bet there's a bit of trolling going on there. The left race propaganda has left people believing that this is about race and not ideology. We need to rise above the race argument and return it to common sense. Exactly. And that's what I feel I've always done. I've been very provocative. I understand that. And people can say that, deep state China and everyone else is doing the same things as what you did. But the point of me being provocative on the race issues was to get the conversation flowing past that. So people know when I jumped on the streams, people knew exactly what I was going to say. I can't understand you. What's that you're saying? I'm not this. Just to put your foot down and say, right, now we're having a debate. Right, now we're going to have the conversation, because I have no limits. Right, I'm not going to be one of these people that you can call racist. And then when you get past that, and when people understand that they can't just use these shut up tags or these shut up things, they've got to have that full conversation. It changes it slightly. But the conversation now that a lot of the people are having on race, it's not productive. If I can go into this now, I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what I mean for you. Right. I need to find one of these restore people. Here we go. It's very easy. It's very easy. Here we have it here. So you got that. I'm not going to the posty bits yet. So, Landor, British Landor. I'm not voting for multiculturalism. If you share the same world view as Zach Balansky, what's the point? And that is to this what Rupert. And we'll go for it again because we did do it earlier on. So that's the response to what
he has
he
Muslim
said.
worship at Windsor and things. I mean, he's certainly very keen to propagate a multicultural society, which again I have no problem with if people integrate.
Right. Sorry, I'll pause it way too early. So he said a multicultural society that he's okay with as long as people integrate. Let's do the whole bit. So I'm going to do it from the start again. So you can.
He has Muslim worship at Windsor and things. I mean, he's certainly very keen to propagate a multicultural society, which again I have no problem with if people integrate. And they accept the prevailing laws and culture of the people they come and live amongst. And you know, if he has Muslim worship at
right, so the good conversation with me is he's talking about multiculturalism. I don't think from the end of it he is talking about multiculturalism and what people would see. I said on the intro, I'm sure it was on that one, we need to end multiculturalism as a political ideology or as a political point, right? We have to end this endless cultures being allowed to have the same amount or more of input to British culture, to our way of life, to what we do, to reduce our cultures. How many Mate Morris dances did we see? We haven't seen any. You know, I haven't seen any. How many fates have been going on? How many street parties do we see these days? How many parties in the park do we see? All of these things, and these are the things I'm trying to get off at what happens in summertime that we don't really actually see. I'm very, very lucky that the village always comes out and always keeps a traditional it's very traditional valued, right? Very, very traditional value. I could go into you can go into people's houses and you can do all sorts of things, right? That you can't do in a big city, right? So we're quite lucky in that sense because that tradition's kept. So what I think that Rupert is saying basically is the multiculture of the people, which you can't. So it's got to be multi-ethnicity or multi-ethnic society. It's got to be changed from the lazy multiculturalism. But what he said there is as long as they adapt to the culture that they're living in, so which is British culture. This here is not advocating for a Zach Polanski, a Zach Polanski nation. He's not advocating for, but people, you'll keep seeing this coming up and people saying that's exactly what he's going to be doing because they can't fight the fight that needs to be fought. If you know, I don't know if you know what I mean. The fight that needs to be fought is to say, listen, this is what the country's about. We've got a one culture, but we can have we can have, as long as it's not taking a piss and it's not overpopulation like what's happening now, because there is a demographic replacement happening. You can't say that there's not. So as long as the numbers were okay and the numbers weren't overpowering, and I would say like David Cameron, it has to get down to tens of thousands. And those tens of thousands have to be legitimate. They have to be for a reason. And I would hope that most of them tens of thousands of immigrants that would come in would be coming in because we need them, right? They'll come in for 5 years. We need their expertise, and then they'll fuck off with a whole lot of money and they can go and do what they're doing in their country. I don't mind that so much because it's not a huge amount. It's going to help us. It's going to train people up, or it's going to give us a bit of a leeway so we can train up our own people and we won't need to do it. And over time, you just build up the people that you need and the skill set, and then you won't be getting these people in there. So the multi-ethnic society or the multi-whatever is okay as long as people adhere to here. The numbers are low, people adhere to what we are doing, and people are not doing crime or anything like that. We have to make sure, it's like Australia with Bogan and Brett. If I went over to Australia and I broke the law slightly, just slightly, not only would I be disrespecting all the Bogans, right? Not only would I be disrespecting the country, and I'd know that, I'd feel that. Imagine I went out and I was drunk and something happened and I got into a little scrap over nothing, right? Oh, you're a pom, you're whatever it is, right? Just it went wild. I'm sitting in a jail and I'm going to be thinking, oh my God, I've disrespected a lot of people. I'm going to come out, I'm going to be like, shit, hold my hands up, shouldn't have done it, this, that and the other. I'd be fully expecting myself to get deported. That is how normal people see countries. People see this country as, no, we're here. It's like Sin City. We're here to do all sorts of stuff because we know we can get away with it. So we need to reverse that around. So a multi-ethnic society is okay within reason. And Rupert Lowe is kind of turning it around now. He's kind of turning it around to say, maybe that's the way we need. We need all the brothers and sisters to fight for this country. Let's not have this division. Let's not have this blacks versus whites versus Indians versus Chinese versus whatever. Let's just get together. For now, you can change it later. It's not my fight. It's not a fight for me. But let's get together and do the real force. Let's fight the real enemy. Because until you can do that, nothing else matters. You can kick every single non-Indigenous person out of this country tomorrow. And you still got the people who will be ruling over you. You still got the judges. You still got the World Economic Forum. You still got the World Health Organization. You've still got all the globalists. You've still got all the warmongers, the neocons, and all of these people, the communists. They're still going to be here. It's not going to change anything. So how about changing everything first? And then by that time, you're going to have a different society anyway. And you might not need to do anything. But at the moment, people come here, people break into our country. They're using the southern border as a route to get in here. We're giving them all these stuff. And they're committing crimes. They don't give a shit. They don't do... No, that needs to stop. And that's why people are having this mentality of saying, all right, cool, fuck everyone. I've got people I've known, I've got people I've ate with that are going to be deporting me. They're telling me, oh, you got to go, Dan. You got to go. You was all right as a brother, last year, but now you got to go. And it's just like you're brainwashing. Loads of people on YouTube, it's been brainwashed. Why don't you use that fight and that brainwash and all that stuff here for the right reasons? And I think if Rupert Lowe can stick down this way and the FNATs can still stay there, but they can understand that you can have an alliance, right? You can have an alliance until we've sorted the country out. Let's not try and be all radical about it. What else is it on there? I'll get to chat in a minute. I'm going to get off here in a minute anyway. Bit of Trump. See, here's another one. I just want to get all these ones ready. Alistair Harrison must punch holes in the wall every time this shambolic Tory stooge opens his mouth and contradicts everything he posts whilst pretending to be him. And that is a huge problem as well. That is a huge problem. Here's another one. Here's another one. Just likes to push a bullshit agenda. Let's see what this is. I wish I could find something to disagree with here, but he's obviously correct. So what is he saying? Rupert's I don't care attitude has very quickly turned into completely shit in the bed over the Daily Mail article. Now, the Daily Mail article was a couple of people they called ethno-nationalists who went to the Remigration Summit in Portugal, which I don't see what a problem was. These were young kids as well. and they try to ruin their life, which I don't agree with. If you're going to go and attack anyone, attack us. Let's keep the young out of this so much. They're trying to be political. They're trying to have a vested interest in their future. They're going to try and do their stuff, and yeah, they might be wrongly. They might walk around with the wrong people or whatever. Yeah, but that's no need to put them on the front page. There's no need to say they went to a far right remigration summit. We can't be doing that. The papers need to have more democracy than that. More decorum than that. The disappointment in the man himself continues, despite the overall vision of the party not changing. Everyone else has been excellent, but in social media age, especially with a new party, one can only have so many boomerisms because your support base completely evaporates, and the vision means jack shit no matter how great the policies and eventual succession of the party looks like. Oh, it's got some advanced UK here. A genuine record-breaking demolition job from Rupert. If he felt that throwing a few Civnat comments would make him look less extreme, no doubt in the civic nationalist faction have been in his ear relentlessly. This is the divide that these are pushing. Oh, it's got to be the civic nationalist. They've got, you know what is, I get right. So ethno-nationalism is the nationalism based on your identity. You white English people who love the country, who want to protect the country, are by default, right, an ethno-nationalist. You're a nationalist for your country and for your people, right? We all get that. That's not a problem. That's nothing. But also part of that, you've got to have it for your civic duties as well. So when people are trying to say, well, ethno-nationalists are this and civic nationalists is, and do you know what? We've just all got to come together and say, we are the people. We are the ones who are going to have. We've all got our own jobs to do. We've all got our own jobs to do. You're not going to have people like Rupert Lowe that are going to walk into South London and tell like we did with Black Lives Matter. You go to the blacks and you say, listen, you're following Marxists. Your ideology is bullshit. The people there, they are trying to mentally enslave you and all this type of stuff. You're not going to have one of these, Cole Benjamins going to go into these estates and do it. So everyone has their own job to do, but we're all going to do it together. And then later on, if you want to, if the country's fine and dandy and you want to have that conversation, then you can. But that's like 50 to 100 years away. That's not what we can do. We can just create the plan for the future. It's very clear what's happened here. He's been spooked by being painted as far right, and the civic nationalists are encouraging him to dial it back. It's salvageable, but he's dug himself a huge hole. Why do they want Rupert Lowe so much to be the front face of this? They know that it's Alistair Harrison that he's doing his post online on X. They know every time he goes in front of a camera, he just talks normal. His natural position is, if you want to use the terms, his natural position is civic nationalism with conditions. That's what I think his position is. And those conditions is, this is my country, you're being allowed in here, you're being a guest at the table, don't take the piss, contribute to the table, contribute to the community, and make sure that you're not heard, right? You're blending in so well that nobody actually, like the 90s, we didn't actually realise that there was all these different types of people because we were all people. It might have been because I was young, right? But I grew up in the 90s and it was just blissful. People were just people, good people and bad people. And that was, I think, because nobody really stepped up. Nobody really come out. The Islamic bloc, that wasn't even a divisional bloc. The guy's a Muslim. All right, cool. And what? I'm a Christian. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't these divisional tactics, and now these divisional tactics are being put into place. It's terrible. It's so hard to kind of come to terms with it and to overcome it, and especially when you've got people who are still trying to push out this type of division, and they're using Rupert Lowe for it because they want. If Rupert Lowe went tomorrow out of Restore, let me know in the chat. If Rupert Lowe went tomorrow, he left Restore. How what would it be? What would the chances of Restore being a successful party? And that's it. And then if you think that they won't become a successful party without Rupert Lowe, you need his authority or his persona or his reputation or his following. Then you've got to then say this is his ideology, because he's always going to come out on TV, on interviews, and he's just going to speak. He's not going to really worry too much. He's 67, is he? He's too old to care about whether or not he's saying the right things or not, or whether or not he should say this. I bet they brief him, oh, don't say this, don't say that. And he's just like, I'll say what I want. I will say what I want when I'm not under pressure, when I've not got Alistair Harrison looking at me all the time. Oh, can I have an interview? No, you can't. Oh, all right, I am the leader of the party though, but I can't do an interview. No. We've got to get out of here. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. Make or break. Every crisis brings opportunity. Our faction usually wins these and gets further concessions. Again, there's no unification. There's none of this, and I don't want to be like, I'm seeing it again. I'm seeing it again from the usual suspects, right? So the usual suspects on YouTube who've been going around all these political parties trying to say, I speak to this person, and they're trying to create things in the background. They're trying to manipulate things in the background. They went from Advance. They started off in Advance. Restore come out, they jumped to Restore. Half of them jumped to Restore, telling Ben Habib to bring it down. Now Restore's kind of didn't accept them, and it's going down. They're like, oh, what can we do? We're just gonna be middlemen now. We're just gonna do nothing. But now there's a huge appetite for these people to try. They're saying that they're gonna get Rupert Lowe together. Rupert Lowe, Nigel Farage, Ben Habib. We need a great big party with all these people in it. Kemi Badenoch. We need one party. We need everyone to merge into the Conservative Party. We need everyone to merge into... And it's like, no, that's not how it happens. Let's make it natural. Let's not try and manipulate things behind. But this is all they're doing. And that they're doing the same thing. So it leaves everyday normal people just waiting and seeing what's going to happen. And it shouldn't be like that. We should be saying, this is the party, this is the policies, this is what we're going to do. Roll on 2029, we're going to win it. Charlie Downs as deputy leader will be a major reassurance for the future and an act of goodwill. Is it an ethno-nationalist? Is Restore an ethno-nationalist party? Because they're going on like it is. Now, if all you supporters of Restore are also supporters of ethno-nationalism in their way, which a lot of them want total remigration, a lot of them want mad shit, and a lot of them are childless, wifeless, and if they do have a wife, it's a foreign one, and if they do have children, they're half-caste, they're mixed race, and they're telling you, no, this is a whole different ball game. We can't unite with them people. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I rammed on there, didn't I? I rammed on. 1984, you're making assumptions. Oh, is it kicking off in the chat? Is it going off in the chat? I'm talking bollocks. Never happened. You're talking about the few band again. I don't know. I missed that one. What was it, Rustic? That was bollocks. Oh, was it Rustic or band again? One of you two. What did I say? That was bollocks. We're going to produce a society, and our society ain't going to change us. Jason the Place. It's pretty accurate read of how things often go, but it's also a bit too neat. Like it flattens everyone into passive observers. Banned again. Danny looks at things not from a biased point of view. He has no party anymore, so he's not an echo chamber, and he calls out Low and Farage. I call out everyone, to be fair, at the moment, and everyone does need to be. But when I do that, obviously, when I call out Low, then I am a reform party thing, and when I call out Farage, I must be part of restore or the left. It's crazy. The world's changing faster than we can keep up. This is Jason the Place. So we're so far behind, playing catch up seems impossible. To be honest, we saw this coming and joked about it. Unfortunately, yeah, that is the truth. The winter here, banning, no chance, Dan, and you know it. No chance of what? No chance of what, banned again? Never gonna happen. Ayo, Dizzy. The whole F no biz, mate. It's never going to happen. Right. It's never going to happen, or it will happen passively. Right? People will either allow. Listen, look, we can keep going down this. We can keep going down this, and I can. We'll cultivate a few. Right? Steve Laws. And these are the people, this is Restore, yeah? So you're saying ethno nationalism and the whole thing is not going to happen, right? The whole business is never going to happen. It's bullshit, right? This is how passive things happen. So everyone's a Restore supporter. Everyone knows these things happen, yeah? But these people feel that they have the rub of the green. These people, and you only need about 10 people that will try to change the narrative and take the party, basically. Take the party. That's why a lot of people, I think you're focusing too much on things that will never see the light of day regarding heads like you being deported. But this is the problem. I know, right, that I wouldn't be deported. It wouldn't get that extreme that quickly, right? So I know it's rubbish, but people still talk about it. So when it's on your timeline and it's open, right? When it's on your timeline and it's open, let me just see how I can get this. This Steve Law thing might just disappear, but let me see. Let's just see. So that's me. So maybe it's going to be in my replies. Let me just see if I can do a little search here. Oh, you know what? Croc's my friend. 1 second. One second, right, do that. Grok's my friend. We'll come back. He's thinking about that for the moment, right? So this is how it will. This is how it will. It will be passively done. So Restore, I support Restore, blah, blah, blah. We know we're not going to get deported, but the conversation is still happening. The narrative is still getting shaped. The normalization process is still happening. All these things happen at the same time. But people like Steve Laws feels that he has the right and the authority to say things like, Rupert needs to apologise for his attack on the party membership. It's his party. Stop the boomer nonsense in his waffling in interviews. Promote Charlie to deputy leader. Promote remigration. That's a bare minimum we expect from him. If we don't do it, then we'll need a new vehicle. Now, we know that Steve Laws is total remigration. We know Steve Laws is political ideology. And this is 28 minutes. It's got 6,500 views on it. All right, we'll see what the results are. It's over, bro. He's fell for it again. Maybe it's time. Here's somebody else who wants to try to pot in. He never run a deport every darky ticket. You effing that bloke projected that onto Restore. Yes, that's true. The whole right needs to unite beyond reform. So, all right, so maybe that's that one, right? Maybe national time to sign here. The message has been right up until this week. He's just cheered on Scotland. So it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag here, right? Stop the boomer. He's waffling in interviews. It seems like he still talks as if he's an individual politician rather than a party leader. Morgul for PM. We all know who that is. And yeah, so it's a mixed badge on this one, right? But we know what the leader, we know what his political ideology is. Let me go to this because the chat's going quick, so I don't want to miss something that I think you focused too much, Zena. Yes, LTG, hope you're fine. Let these people are minions then. They're minions until they become majors, right? They're minors before they become majors. I've seen the most wildest things and you've seen it as well, of people coming out from nowhere, absolutely nowhere, and getting positions of not power, right, but getting positions in places. You're like, that's a bit dodge. How did you do that? So all it's going to take is for, let's just say, Rupert to disappear. They've got rid of him, right? The minions of these people now are being promoted up into the new party. People are still supporting Restore because we support Restore. And a lot of people don't want to say that they were duped. They were wrong. So minions can quite easily and quite quickly become into major conversation. And I'm not saying that the major conversation is going to be the F-Nuts and then they're going to win and everyone's going to go. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying about the conversation. The conversation will always be this conversation. And we will never get to a true defending the country. This is what we need to do because we'll always be fighting against that, always be fighting against people on the timeline. Dan, you got to go back to Africa. You're getting deported. You're doing this. You're doing that. Still doing these things, and people watching and looking at it thinking, has the country changed their ways? Is this happening? Normalization happens. Then they're like, fuck it, I'll join them. Then all of a sudden, 10, 15 years down the line, these minions who are all young, now they've got a serious party. That's the situation. I don't know. That's my thoughts anyway. Disgruntled ethnics will destroy the party for this. Multiculturalism, multiculturalism hasn't worked, it will never work, and it was never wanted. Same goes for integration. It hasn't happened, it will not happen, and it means nothing if it amounts to people living in ethno-cultural ghettos as long as they obey the law and pay tax. Avoid all talk of either. So that's Connor Tomlinson again saying that Rupert Lowe was wrong on his PBD podcast. What's Tommy said, or the admin post? It's like Alistair Harrison post. This is sloppy framing. Just a curiosity delve into that. Hans Cohn and what is to believe in shows to be the case here. It is true that Hans Cohn did popularize the distinction between ethnic nationalism and civic nationalism. That is 100% true. He did this. There we go. If you want to read it, you can read it. But no, ethno-nationalism conversation has been going on since the time of the Greeks. Do you know what I mean? It was fun while it lasted. The mind rape boomer shows his true colours against Rupert Lowe. See you later.
We're not on the same side. They're trying to fucking stop us. Fuck boomers. They signed NAFTA. They allowed Mexicans to come here en masse. They allowed the 60s and 70s immigration control. They allowed everyone to come in here. They made it. They hog buildings. They hog houses. They hog boats. They're fucking greedy pieces of shit. Fuck boomers. One bullet for every fucking boomer. Day of the pillow, motherfucker.
It's always the gingers, isn't it? It's always the gingers, right? So then that's that. There's many people. Oh my God. What the fuck's going on here? Oh, is that Mad March again? Yeah, so it's always so they're going for Rupert now. These people are going for Rupert. The reason the left pushed the race argument is to divert from the real issues and to divide the people. Agreed, UTK. Apparently, the left have created this whole ethno-civnat term too. LTG. Jace, Catholicism is not what you think it is. And there's another divide. You know, there's another divide right there. And it's always gonna happen. You know, you got the Christian divides, you got the Muslim divides. You got the political divides. You got divides on divides on divides. That's life. But if we can talk them out, and there is lots of things about Catholicism that I don't agree with, being a Catholic. Do you know what I mean? But there's still a lot of things that I do, and if I could have been in a position of power or something like that, I'd say, a lot of things would happen. Pope Leo should open up all the vaults of the Vatican. He should be exposing exactly what things happened, who did what, how many nonces are still there, how many nonces there has been, how are you going to change it, why it's against God's order, why these people are, you know, they might be buried in these big tombs and that, but they're going to be in hell. These conversations do need to happen because it's natural. The more that we learn, and the more that we understand, the more knowledge we seek. Yeah. So, what's going on here? Let's go to James's one, because I did skip past it, and I just thought it was bullshit. I don't want people to be like, oh, do you know what? What's happening in Edinburgh? Why is this woman set on fire? What? What the fuck? I hope that's just some kind of harmless, like not harmless, obviously, but not because of Islam or something like that. Fucking hell, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
She's on fire.
That is absolutely terrible. Oh, you couldn't see that. Thankfully, you couldn't see that. I'm going to make... do you want to see it? Let me know. He was busy setting up. Pope is not a Christian. He is busy setting up Chrislam. Not Pope Leo. Oh, he's a little bit. Do you know what it is? There's a little bit. He comes out with stuff, and I get that. I get that. Here's what you should have been watching anyway. So here's Edinburgh.
She's on fire.
Look at that as well. She's on fire. Why? You smother it though. Roll on it. Put it on, roll. Don't take it up again.
I think you're supposed to put water on it.
I don't know what happened there.
No.
That's wild. That still is wild. I don't want to see that again, actually. But only because you guys never saw it. And you'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, this is crazy. All right, so yeah, that's it. That is about it. That is about it for tonight. So yeah, we didn't go through the stuff we wanted to go through, but it's just a chat. It's just a conversation, you know. And I think, you know, we do need to have them conversations, and we do need to have the conversations of pushing back. You know, there's been a lot of times, and it's going to change a little bit as well. The content, there's been a lot of times when I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered with the drama. I'm quiet over stuff. People say stuff, and I'm just quiet. I'm just like, I can't be bothered with the drama. But I think now, I don't know. I think we should just be talking. You know, whether I'm right or wrong, I'm not really. If I'm wrong on most of the stuff, and someone can come into me and say, Dan, you're wrong because of this, and show me the truth or the right way or whatever, I'm happy. You know, I'm not one of these people that I've got to be right and, you know, use all the wrong. I want to learn as much as anything else. And, you know, we have to keep delving into this. And I do think there is a problem, you know, in Restore where they've got two different ideologies. You know, Rupert Lowe, he's a boomer. Of course he's a boomer, right? But he's not a boomer at the same time. Do you know what I mean? He's still quite based. right? I'd say that Ben Habib, he's a boomer to heart, right? He is a boomer to heart, and that was one of the reasons why I was like, oh, a bit like this. And then when everyone else, imagine that, when everyone else is like, Dan, come on, do this, show me all the good stuff. I'm like, do you know what? They want to do more politics than UKIP. UKIP want to kind of do the rallies. I get that. I love that. I'm going to support what they're doing. And then he just folds like a little bitch. And now he's like, oh, I might come back in 2 weeks' time. Ben has lost all his legitimacy. But if he was to come back, again, that's to create another divide. That's to create another thing, because people will be saying, well, Ben, actually, we can't trust you because you folded so quickly. You said that a Pakistani British person could never be a prime minister or a leader of a party. And then you got the Restore people saying, you know, it has to be a white English people, and you know, we're defining Britain as England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And then you got Reform going on saying, well, actually, anyone with a passport can be British. These are three different conversations happening in the right wing of politics. We've got to start getting through it and start getting the shit from the good stuff. Yeah, we've got to do that. Let me quick look at this. Want to join together. Sophia, thanks, Danny in chat. Thank you, Sophia, once again for watching. It's always a pleasure. If you believe the country was based on Christian laws, regardless of your denomination, then that's what you should be fighting for. If you believe the country is based on Christian laws, regardless of your yeah, that's what we should be. I do think that, well, it is based on Christian laws, and I think that we should be upholding it. And regardless of your denomination or your whole entire faith, you have to respect it. Otherwise, you can go. And that's a conversation that I can stand with an extreme, one of the most racist people in the world, right? Just imagine the most racist person in the world who really hates me, who really, really hates me. I could stand there and say, listen, this is what you want. This is what I want. You then want extra things on top, right? Let's leave the extra things on top and fight for what we can for the moment. Then in that time, I'm hoping that I'm going to win you over and say, actually, I've got a wrong ideology. But I'm not going to be like, oh, do you know what? No, you've got to go there. You've got to go there. It can be fought together. Restore can be fought together. It really can be, right? But people have got to understand that there are lines and there are boundaries. And this is what these people don't want to do. And they want to co-opt. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if right about now, Harrison, Charlie Downs, and all of them lot, you got Cole Benjamin, they're all kind of talking about, should we get another party? Should we do this? Should we oust Rupert Lowe? Have we got the support? They're trying to now navigate whether or not they can make a move, or should they stay and see what happens for the future. I don't know, but, you know, we've got to keep having these conversations, and it doesn't mean that you're one way or another for having it, supporting it, disappointing it, whatever. At the end of the day, we've got until the moment you put the X in the box to make a decision. We might all be saying all this stuff and then vote a completely different way at the elections. Before I go, talking about the elections. Before I go, there is this, where was it? I did see it before. I've got a mouse, right? I've got a mouse, you know, the middle bit. I do it so much that now it's slick. There's no grip in it at all. Where was it? You saw it here. Here, I have no idea who this Unite the Right is, right? I have no idea whatsoever. Don't even know, right? But it's a tactical voting situation, party, whatever you want to call it. And I think at the worst, this is what we can be looking at: tactical voting. So this is they've put his website together. It's Unite the Right with the map. Let me just see if I can put it in there and paste that. So the link is in the chat. And this is what it says it's going to look like in the next election with 0% tactical voting. Here's what it could look like with 50% tactical voting. So you see all these areas here. You wipe out Labour. By having a tactical vote, you wipe Labour out completely. Well, not completely, but they've got no power. They've got a few heartlands and what it is. And if you 100% tactically vote, so if everybody on the right got together, united, voted tactically one time, we would dominate. And this website's very good to look at. Let's say, oh, let's look at this bit here. Let me just... So here's a tactical voting, right? So if you did tactical voting, Restore Britain, 50% of it, if 50% of the people voted tactically, then realistically, we would be looking at 88 Labour seats, 1 Restore Britain seat, 277 seats, and 154 seats for Conservatives. So you would have a Conservative Reform coalition, right? You would have a Reform coalition, and we would have a right-wing majority of 214 if everyone got together. 100% tactical. Reform would have 300. Restore would still have their single vote, which is here. We can see it's Great Yarmouth, so it's Rupert Lowe. Reform UK would have 305, and Conservatives would have 175. This conversation, I think, is important, and I think it's one that I'm going to be going across because I don't really have a political party at the moment. No, you can do it if it's 36%, if it's 36% or whatever. It's not. I don't really have a political party at the moment, and I know, we have to do something, but this is something that the left do very, very well. You remember Carol Vorderman, only a couple of years ago was saying we have to tactically vote, and I think whilst we're so divided at the moment, if we could get to the 2029 elections, not an early election, even the early elections, especially actually an early election, if we had a snap election, I think this would be even more because we haven't got political parties at the moment. We're like, yeah, you're doing that, you're doing that. Restore be like, oh, I've only got 50 people, blah, blah, blah. So we'd have to really look at it and say, let's tactically vote for a snap election. Or 2029, because look, we've got it here. We can see it here. It's not going to be very much Labour anyway. They're wiped it out, but we would be short by a majority of 7. We would be short. The right wing would be short by 7 people, 7 seats, whatever. So at least we need to 50%, half of us. And this is a conversation I think I'm going to start having quite a lot as well. So if we did come down to a snap election, or if it did come down to 2029 and people are still not convinced either way, there will be ways where you have to loan your vote. And again, the left do this very, very well. The Tories are all wet liberals now. They ain't conservatives or right wing. And that's happened over many, many years. Right? It's happened over many, many years. And again, whilst we all know what the Tories are, we know what the Tories have done, we know how the Tories, the Boris wave and all of these things, but it still doesn't mean that we can't tactically vote. Now, and let me just, oh, fuck's sake. Right, so let me do this one. I don't actually want to do the whole village. I'm just going to show you one thing on here, but I don't want 5, 4. Oh, do you know what I can do actually? 1 second. 1 second. I'm just trying to get a postcode. Oh, did you see the things in Sheppey? Oh my God. Right, I'm going to do that in a minute. Now I'm here. Sheppey, remind me. I'm going to get off in 5 minutes, but I need to talk to you about it because it's absolutely crazy. So if we go to this one, postcode. Oh, that wasn't even worth it. Right, so you put in your postcode. You go in there, put in your postcode, split in the vote, put your postcode, and it's saying that the recommendations, and I don't know who's behind this, and it really annoys me because it could be someone that's a left-wing person that just wants to mix things up. I don't know, because it's very much like the tactically voting left side. But anyway, Sittingbourne and Sheppey, we would recommend you vote Reform UK, and that wouldn't split the vote. So you'd put in your postcode and it will say, either it's Tory or it's that. But the beauty of this is, Sophia, good night, God bless. The thing about this is, it's not a vote that we're caring about. It's a vote that we're going to get rid of a left-wing totalitarian government who have, done the most horrific crimes against the people, from Southport all the way to here. So many things that have gone on. You'd think that they've been in power for 10 years. He's not even been in power for a cycle. So I think it's important that if we don't have that determination, or we don't have that passion behind someone, we can say, actually, we can lend a vote. Again, it's what other people do. Again, if we want to win, we have to start saying, right, it's not really how we'd like to do it, but it's a necessity. Because if we don't, believe you me, the left's going to do it, right? They are going to do it. So here's the bikes. One more thing, Sheppey. Watch this. Medical. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we have got. Have we got it from here? So we've got this. So we know what's been going on for the last few. I don't know if you've been aware what's been going on in the last few years in Kent, right? One thing let me just quickly read the chat here. I've yet to talk to a Restore fan that knows Reform's policies. Exactly that, but we're sure as knowing as many policies as we can. Tories or Wets know that election by September. Yes, not this September, not this September. Next September at the latest. It can't be this September because of he's just coming in. He's coming into it. He needs to have a plan. He needs to then go and show conference, and conference will be like, yes, and clapping. And they have the mainstream media promoting it. Then they're going to have the normalization. Then they're going to have the shaping the narrative. So I'm saying next year, probably this time, May, June, depending what the weather's like. If not, September, when they come, when they come back from their summer holidays. Night, and that's it. I do my own research. I'm not in the habit of getting emotional about politics. I will do what I think is best. Exactly, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. But a lot of people, don't want to do the homework, or they haven't got time to do the homework, and they just want to hear a snapshot of what's best from people that they trust. And that's what we all can do, to be honest. But yeah, so Kent, the last few, we've had meningitis, we've had new strains left, right, and centre of all of these viruses. And then was it last week? Beginning of the month, I don't know when it was. Beginning of the month, we had these. Oh, fuck off! Sorry. We had these, all right? Disgusting clinical waste dumped on Sheppey beaches. Now, these got washed up. These vials, they were washed up, right? On the beaches in Sheppey. So, you know, Laysdown and all that. This is the year, this is the time of year then everyone gets on their holidays. People come down to Laysdown, they come down to Minster, they come down to the caravan parks, they come down to Sheppey, and they have a good time. And last month we found all of these vials. And as you can see, things were a little bit orangey and things were a little bit reddy. All right. These had definite things in it, washed up. So these have got things in it. All right. Hundreds of these vials were labeled virus transport medium. And they're believed to be among thousands of tons of waste dumped over the cliffs at the north of the island, which is absolutely disgusting. The area is a 750 site of special scientific interest and important wildlife habitat and famous for its fossils. All right, so this is where it's all been washed up, and there's a lot of driftwood as well there. And I need to go and get some good. This is good burning wood. It smells beautiful as well. Look at all of these vials coming up. It's in the sea now. The sea has been. It used to be very, very good quality. It's gone down now to E. coli and all kinds of stuff. But we've just had meningitis and all of this stuff, and then we've got these vials with virus transport medium on them. So when people say there's not a government thing to infect a lot of people, I believe this year if people go into the water, that they're going to get some type of disease. They're going to get some type of new virus strain, or if they don't, then they're definitely 100% creating new viruses. Laysdown Beach are brilliant. It really is. I love it. I'm gonna do a little stream. I'm gonna do a stream down there. I'm gonna go down there one of the evenings, right? One of the evenings, and we'll do a stream. It's like Blackpool. Honestly, it's like Blackpool if you have never been to Blackpool. Did my own research. UTK is all I hear. They don't trust. They don't feel. If policy says something, it's because that's their conclusion. Only got one nightclub. It's a good day out only. No. There's two nightclubs. You got the nightclub in Laysdown, and then if you come all the way down into Sheppey, you've got the what's it called now? The rooms, something rooms. Not the flamingo rooms. Anyway, it's something like that. All right. You can get drunk there very, very quickly, but it's very good. It's very, very good. It is a day trip out, really. And then I'm thinking, how can I sell it? How can I sell it? And I can't really sell any more than it. That, yeah, it's got a very big Aldi distribution center. Huge. It's very good inside there as well. Hot water brings the jellyfish. There's fucking loads of jellyfish. I remember down there when the girls were little. And I see one just behind them, just fucking floating. And I'm like, if I say there's a jellyfish in there, they're going to go mental. They're probably going to go that way and get stung. So I had to try and fish them out. But yeah, there's loads. And Margate as well. Margate is terrible for jellyfish. Oh, it's terrible. Sometimes. I don't know where they come from. It's true though. When you got the hot season, that they do, and they flock in as well. If you go to the marinas, you'll see loads of them just caught up in the basins. The last time I visited England, I caught about 7 colds. Third world immigrants coughing everywhere. August bank holiday weekend is good at Laysdown. Any time in summer is good at Laysdown. It really is. It's got its own, or anyway. But to the people that don't, it's got its own little atmosphere, and it's very. Yeah, I want to see. Do you know what I want to see? I want to see what the atmosphere is like this time, because people are changing, right? People are not starting to take accept people coming down, and whilst Laysdown the holiday parks is still very traditional and it's still very family generational. I'm not sure what locals are going to be like, to be fair. Are they going to be like, do you know what? You're taking the piss. You're disrespecting the area, or they're just going to be the same. Who knows? It's going to be good. Margate Beach is full of flies. Flies? I've not noticed that. What like bug flies or flies? Peter's fish and chip. That's good there. Peter's fish and chips, a good old fish and chip up there. Anyway, I'm flaking out now. It's 1:15. We've done a bit of time. How long have we done on this one? We have done, I don't know. You don't tell me. It doesn't. 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's a good 2 hours and 10 minutes, that is. And we didn't really get to speak about what I was going to do. I just wanted to go and troll the internet. We trolled the internet. We did what we had to do. And, yeah, it's still too hot, but I need to get to sleep. And, yeah, need to get to sleep. Big day tomorrow. And I will see you. I might come on tomorrow. If I was there now, I'd definitely be at. You wouldn't be at Skeggy. I can promise you. If you was here now, there was no way you'd go to Skeggy. Skeggy is not the Skeggy that you used to think it was. It's not even Blackpool is. Skeggy is more like Skeggy there. I don't know. Just think of Islamabad. That's Skeggy now. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And a lot of the hotels as well have got illegals in there, even though they'll profess that they don't. They really, really do. But anyway, people, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. Please like the stream. Go and do all the good stuff. If you're on any other platform, please go and search Danny Unfiltered on Kick and subscribe to them, because again, you've seen it. I showed it to you. I've got it. I've got it here. I'll show you. I will show you it. YouTube. This is the difference between free speech platforms and ones that contain you. Danny. Oh, there I am. I want to hear this. I want to go to the posts. Posts. Oh, it's not even on there. Did I not do it? Did I not post it? Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't. How do I see? Oh, that's pretty shit, isn't it? So when I put a post up with a photo, you can't see it. That is absolutely shit. That is absolutely shit. But anyway, I don't know. I'll put the analytics up. Give me 1 second. So the analytics of YouTube, is pretty much under 1,000. Under 1,000 people come. It doesn't get pushed out there. It doesn't get seen by anyone apart from us lot, right? And that's why it's important to do the sharing on YouTube, because as much as I dislike it and as much as it demonetizes me all the time and it does all sorts of mad shit, is where people are. It's where people is. But if you look at a free speech platform like X, and I don't like X either, but again, it just gives you an opportunity to get yourself out there. If we look at that one, right, if we look at the analytics, we are looking at 920,000. That's gone down because that was at 1 million yesterday. I took a picture and it was at 1 million views. So that's gone down 60,000. I'll get that. Oh yeah, because it's a new day, isn't it? It's a new day. And it's only 7 days. So this is 7 days. If we do 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks on our pay weeks, the impressions is 1.4 million. Engagement rate's 1%. And all sorts of stuff. And it's all down. Look, everything's down. And you're still getting good numbers. So yeah, 8,000 engagements. So this is the thing. That's why it's important that if you can do what you can do on YouTube, just keep trying to do it. And everyone, yeah, band, thank you for coming. Rustic, Brett, UTK, thanking everyone for being here. Thanks for all the mods, everyone else, LTG, Sophia, everyone that joined. Have a good evening. Always have a good morning. And I'll speak to you tomorrow at some point in time. It's going to be a hot one. Make sure you go out. Look how dark I got as well. Look how dark I got. It's crazy. That's one day in the sun. One day in this sun. But make sure you don't wear non-mineral based sun cream, right? With all them little plastic bits inside it and all the other nasty bits in it. Get yourself some vitamins from the sun and enjoy yourself. Drink plenty of water. I think that's it. So I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone.